Sharp on 7 o'clock. So yeah, hi everyone. Thanks a lot for joining. Super happy to have you guys here, and thank you for joining. This is the Fairground gem. It's called Fairground because our testnet is called Fairground, and on our Fairground we also run incentivized games. So like we use our testnet for you guys to test our functionality, to get acquainted. Is this the right English word? Sorry, I'm not native English, but like you guys learn how to use our features and learn to play with it. And also, of course, it helps us testing if you guys do stuff and we see like how and if the network behaves as intended. Yeah, I'm Arne from the community team. Actually, we're all the community team here today. This is the new guy. If you have watched one of the last Fairground gems, I think he's now here all the time.
That's fair.
Hi, Don, and of course, hi, Sunny, who is also developer advocate. And given that we today talk about some complicated, that's not too complicated. If Sunny explained it, it will be easy as hell, but without Sunny, it would be complicated. So this is why we have him here, and he will guys walk you through the setup. So the thing that is going to happen is that we are launching one incentive game, most likely on Monday. As you guys know, in a software company, you never make 100% commitments, but surely. So like, yeah, on Monday, we will probably run the next incentive game. And this time it's about liquidity provision, which is super cool on Vega, but also something that is important to understand, and also like how to play the game. And for today, we have two things to cover. First of all, how to set it all up. So how you guys can actually submit an LP order. Again, this incentive is like cutting edge and for advanced users. And therefore we have Sunny, who will show us how to set up a wallet, how to connect it, how to run the scripts. And then I will go with Dan over a little bit on high level, how actually liquidity order works and what you guys can find there. So let me check if there are any questions already so far. No, the last comment is still that I'm not that welcome Dagan, but yeah, Dagan is still on its way home. Hopefully next week you can see him again. Okay, then I hand over to Sunny to and show you guys, and I will ask all the questions that that you guys might have in mind when Sunny explains it. Yeah, how to set up and get like in a position where you can script-based submit an LP order, because it's so cutting edge that there's no user interface at this very moment, and also not on Monday. But luckily, some of you guys are already like very experienced with this, because like the governance proposals incentive that we did before was also script-based. And yeah, like nothing is eaten as hot as cooked, as we say in Germany. So when you see Sunny doing it, it's not very frightening. Okay, Sunny, I hand over to you.
Awesome, I love that. Nothing is eaten as hot as cooked. So on that note, let me start sharing screen. Oh, Anna, can you enable for us so we can get going? And then, so as Anna said, this is to do with our LP incentive that we're launching next week. And so this is just a short guide to take you guys through how to set up a wallet firstly, and then how to submit those orders. And we're going to go from first principles here. So we will start off in our documentation. So that's docs.vega.xyz. And as Anna said, like this is demonstration. If this goes quickly, like I'm on Discord, as are Dan and Anna and a lot of other people. So we'll always be here to help if you miss any of these references or things like that. But so start off with the docs, and we'll try and do things kind of step by step, so you can hopefully do this to yourself. So from the docs page, we want the desktop wallet app, which is a good link to our last Fairground jam 2 weeks ago. Since we launched it, we've been kind of testing it internally. We've been rolling out to users, and we'd love to now use this with our new incentive. So we start off with the wallet, and this page written by some members of our lovely team take you through exactly what you need to do to create a new wallet and to download it. So from here, just give a quick read of this, and then you go to our releases page, which is here. And it's important that you get the right version for your machine. So if you're on Windows, you'd be looking at one of these two. And if you're on Mac, you'd be looking at one of these two. And so in cooking shows, they have this thing where they give you a recipe and they say, here's one I made earlier. So
can I make a nerd comment?
Yeah, of course.
What I always like about this is that Mac is actually called Darwin because this is the kernel that Mac is running on. So like if you're running a Mac, you might look for a Mac, but what you're actually looking for is Darwin. And then, yeah, if you're a Mac user, probably fully aware if you're using their new chipsets, ARM chips, or if you're like a classical AMD guy. Yeah, I just wanted to make this.
Yeah, actually, an important point. And also in our documentation, it will say it has the kind of correct, if you go to the correct tab, it says exactly which one you should be downloading. So important to get that right, as Anna said. And so, yeah, in cooking shows, they do this thing where they give you a recipe and they say, here's one I made earlier. So I'm going to do the same thing here. And here is a wallet that I made earlier, following these steps from the documentation. So when you have the wallet up, you're almost ready to go. It's important that it's connected to the Fairground network. Now, when you connect your wallet, you can connect on, you have the option to connect on Fairground and mainnet. For this incentive, you want to be connected to Fairground. Now, once you've got your wallet set up, you will need to get some of the assets into it, which is our test asset for this incentive. And to do that, you go to our faucet page, which is faucet.fairground.wtf. And you go there and you enter your wallet key. So my wallet key, my public key is here. So I would just enter that into this field and then send tokens to my wallet. Now, important to note that this page will go live when the incentive launches. So if any, it's not worth trying to jump ahead and faucet yourself a lot of assets at this point. That's not going to work. But when the incentive launches, you go here and that's the first step. So you get some assets into your wallet. Now, at that point, you can begin submitting liquidity orders and providing liquidity to the markets. And the way you would do that is you go to our sample API script. Now, this is a public GitHub repository, so it's available to everyone. And I'll just go to the root of the repository here. That would help. And you have a kind of read through before you clone anything. But this is you use these scripts for kind of listing orders, seeing what's going on in the market, and also submitting your own order. So the first step is to go here and just clone these scripts to your local machine. And once you've done that, you can open them on VS Code like so. Now you've set up your wallet, you've got the scripts cloned. Now you need to go to the credentials file. So originally this is called credentials template, and you can either rename this to credentials or make a copy called credentials, as I've done. And then what you do there is you enter your wallet name and your wallet passphrase. So as you can see, my wallet name is test wallet 4, which I've put into my credentials file. I've also got my super secure wallet passphrase of test 4, and this is all ready to go. So at this point, you need to run in your terminal source credentials, and that way your wallet is connected, and now any scripts that run will be they'll be sending the orders to Fairground on behalf of your pub, and your pub key, your wallet ID will appear. So that's important. And then the final step is to run one of these scripts. So if you want to, for example, submit an order and you're most comfortable in Python, you can run this submit script, or maybe this one might be simpler here. And you can go through and you can change the prices, the sizes of your orders. And all you have to do is put in the right command in your terminal. And if you're struggling to know what that right command is, it's all here in the repository. So you can go to, there's readmes everywhere. So for example, if I wanted to submit a liquidity provision with Python, I can just copy this this command and paste it into my terminal. I'm good to go. I'll have my liquidity order ready on testnet. And important to mention dependency. Sorry, I should have mentioned this before, but in order for all of this to run smoothly, you need to install Python 3 on your machine. And you also need to install the requests library if you're using Python. So pip install requests. And once you have all of that ready to go, you'll be ready to trade. So Anna, once they've got to that point, maybe back to you in terms of kind of any basics you want to give them around this incentive.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Sunny. Yeah, so like to summarize it, if I understand it correctly, okay, I download the desktop wallet, I create like a new wallet, I remember name and passphrase of it, I clone the sample scripts repository, and yeah, I need to update the credentials, and then I'm good to go. And basically, yeah, I need to make sure that like on Python, I have the right dependencies installed. The amazing thing about Python, I'm not sure if like more of you guys are using it, but usually it always tells you like module not found or whatever, and then you do pip install the module name. And I think here it was just requests that needs to be installed. For me, everything worked like out of the box. I'm not sure why or in which context I have everything had installed before. Yeah, let us know if you have like any issues with that. I posted our Discord link.
But just said one thing. Don't forget to faucet, because you need something to trade with. And that link will be available on our website as well. Like you just saw Sunny show it as well, but don't forget that part. Otherwise, you have nothing to trade.
Yeah, the good news is like with Play Money games, there is a homepage. You put in your address, you click give me money, and it gives you money. The sad thing is it's just Play Money. So I'm not sure you will find anyone who gives you money for it. Yeah, it's like a testnet, a Fairground thing. And okay, let me start what this is all about. So the liquidity provision on Vega. Let me start with something. Hope you guys can see my screen now. Basically, to be happy with Vega and like to get all the answers you need, there are two things that you should have in mind. First of all, like check our amazing docs. It's docs.fairground.vega.xyz. And here, like, you get a lot of information. We will now like just scratch the surface of it to explain you like the minimum about LP orders and a tiny little bit about like the high level concept. But yeah, you feel free to read more here, and then I think you understand Vega much better. And also if you play around like on testnet and actually do it according like with our scripts, then like everything suddenly makes sense in your head. At least this was my experience very often, that like, yeah, you read it and then you do it and then now I got it. Yeah, let's start with liquidity, or maybe start with some of the very basic things. So we start super basic. So like the first thing is, why do we actually need liquidity? So you could argue like, yeah, if I want to sell my Ferrari for $100,000, but there's no one who wants to buy it, so be it. Then there's no no one on the other side of the market. Why could this be like a problem like for derivative trading? Let's ask anyone. Dan?
No, but as in, I would say like it's every market, when you want to buy or sell something, you have to have a taker, right? So when you have someone to provide liquidity provision, LP order, as we also call it. So remember that LP order. They are actually creating the market so people can buy and sell. Like without them, the market is basically kind of dead. There's no one to take it. So even though if you have something, you can't make anything with it. So it's extremely important to have that. And to be honest, even if you don't think about doing this like live later on, I think you will get a better understanding how the market works. And when you trade normally as well, you might understand, this is how it works. Okay, this is why this trade happens, and this is why the market moves. So I think this, for me as a nerd, which I found it so interesting just to read about this and learn more about it. So I hope you feel the same, and we will really try to simplify it as much as possible. Also because, well, it helps us to understand more as well. So I think like what Arne will go through like now with the script, I think it's something that's very, not script, but I think it's something that will really make it easier to understand. But I think we'll start with some expressions that you will have to get used to, because it's something that's going to be in the script, basically, what we use. And then you can see here on this site, you can see now like how to provide liquidity, I would say.
Can I add one more thing to like liquidity, like from the protocol level? What you can see here is also there might be situations where, like, I think here it's right, like, but it's also, liquidity is also important consideration from a market's risk management standpoint. The position of a distressed trader can only be liquidated if there's enough volume on the order book to offload it. Otherwise, potentially insolvent party remains part of the market. Like this is also related to closeouts. If there's no liquidity in the market, people lose more and more money and cannot be closed out. Like whenever you close the order and you want to settle it, you need two people. Someone is buying, someone is selling. And yeah, this is like the important part where like my Ferrari example wouldn't work. Yeah, like it's not like if there's someone and no one wants to buy, that's not a problem. But especially like if people use leverage and stuff, they can just lose basically infinite amount of money if they get not closed out, and their order gets settled. So since this, so we all agree that liquidity is important. Let's go like how this works actually on Vega. So yeah, providing liquidity is of course the best place to go there. And when you like provide liquidity, so like Vega all the time checks if there's enough liquidity for a market. I think it also says it like here, like Vega all the time calculates if there's enough liquidity, because otherwise we have the risks that we discussed before. And there's like a monitoring process, and the market can go to auction state where people need to provide more liquidity if there's not enough liquidity. But you can see all this here, that there must be like enough liquidity basically to run a market. And we can later also like spend a few words on how this is actually calculated. Okay, now let's go to like, if you want to submit liquidity to a market, how does this actually work, and what are like the consequences, like how it works? So this is what you can see here on the left side would be something called an LP order, so a liquidity provision order. And there, let's go.
Yes, yeah. Something, and this is what Sunny showed earlier when he cloned. This is an example of how it can look like and how you can set it up.
So like first of all, of course, you need to, that's kind of obvious, you need to know the market ID, which you can find like on our console, so that you know like what market you actually like providing liquidity to. And then you need to specify the liquidity amount, how much liquidity you actually want to amount. You need to set the fee, and then you basically tell how it looks like in the order books, the buy and the sell orders that you are providing to the market based like on a reference point. And yeah, let me just make an example maybe here on the left side how this works. So you have something like an order book, and let's say the mid price, which you can also see on console at the moment for our asset, is like $10. Yeah, so this is the price that is currently provided. And now let's see what we have done. We have committed 20,000. These are like equally split between buying and selling. And now here's something called offset. And this offset shows like how far away from the mid price you place your liquidity order that someone else can take if he wants to. And the offset is basically the smallest unit that you can use to change the price on this market. So let's say here, for example, in our price would be $1. In this case, like our LP order would be like for a price of 11. And we have another one, which is another LP order goes to the order book where we sell for 12 or buy. And the same we did like in the other direction. So we have LP order. We also now buy for 9 and 8. And now we have like submitted like these orders that people can take. But now the question is, how actually does look the volume around this? Like we have committed 20,000, but how are they actually split? And yeah, 10,000 are split on buys and 10,000 are split to sells. And here now comes this proportion factor into play, which basically, yeah, tells you like what you add these together, and then you get the percentage of it depending on this value. So this is like 1/3 and this is 2/3, because 1 plus 2 is 3, and like 1 divided by 3 is 1/3 and 2 divided by 3 is 2/3. So like in this case, we would put here like a volume of 6,666, and here 3,033. I don't know exactly now who got the last dollar, but I hope you guys understand the concept. And the same obviously happens here exactly in the same way. And yeah, now if like no one takes any of your orders, but the market price changes, then this would be like automatically adjusted because the reference price is this. And if this changes, then your LP order changes exactly the same. If now like one of your orders gets taken, so let's say like someone buys this and like the 3,000 are just gone, then this would be distributed like in kind of the same factor. So like 4,400 or so. That's correct. I hope it's clear. It's very possible that am I correct? Yeah, that like then like the your position will be like this, and then move up like this. There's one thing that, because we are playing like a game where people need to have the best P&L when they play like the incentive game, and there's one thing that you need to keep in mind, that when you place LP orders, what you really absolutely love is like a side market. So like if people buy and sell and buy and sell, then you get all the nice fees. Let me actually explain you this for a second, how fees on Vega are working. So yeah, total fee. When you put the fees for like a trade, they are like consisting of multiple factors. And the first one is like the infrastructure fee factor, which means like that Vega has a proof of stake. It's a proof of stake blockchain run by validators. And also there are token holders who stake and secure the network. And their fee factor is defined by the network parameters. And it's like they get like a part of every fee. Then we have like the a fee for the guy whoever provided, like the price taker pays the fee, and the guy who make the order also gets a fee factor depending on the network parameters. And then we have the liquidity factor, which we just have seen here. If you're a liquidity provider, then you get this as well. And yeah, these three, they get added together and then multiplied by like the trade value. And yeah, if you have further questions to this, like just read here. There's like some examples how this is, what happens if your order gets split in multiple trades and these kind of thing. This you can also see here. So yeah, like this is the best thing, but if you play like our game from Monday on, you need to probably think about what happens if the market like has a strong trend, because then obviously if everyone buys, you are selling, and there might be some consequences to this if you think about it. And the same like in the other way, if the market goes down, and you are buying and buying. Yeah, I think that's hopefully some cool for you guys to think about it, and then you might want or not want to do some other stuff to come up like with a good strategy. But yeah, like LP orders, yeah, they have like some impact depending on how the market behaves. Okay, so like yeah, offset, as we said, is like how far away your orders are from the reference price. Here, like it's the mid price, and proportion, as I've explained, yeah, shows like for like the different LP orders that you have set, how much of your total volume they're actually getting. So like there's two categories. First of all, it's divided between buying and selling, and then yeah, it just splits further into like these different orders. There's much more to this, and we will also help you with like much more content about it. How actually Vega calculates if there's enough liquidity. Like there's some cool science around it, where Vega calculates how likely it is that P orders are reached, and there's a factor calculated, and yeah, there's a lot of science around it. I think there's something, yeah, that on Monday we can go closer onto in our Discord and discuss more of this, and we might also provide like some additional content on this. But I hope that so far like it's clear, and yeah, like it's a play money game that we are playing, so play around with it. You really can't lose, but there will be even some real prizes. So yeah, hopefully you guys will have fun with it and play around and think about and yeah, have a close look what actually happens with your LP position. And then yeah, if you want to do some stuff or other stuff, or how you maintain your LP position. You can also amend your liquidity commitment. There's like a second part, like in the scripts, where basically you can change change your LP order after you have it submitted. And yeah, if you want to win the game, you might or might not want to do make use of that. I think yeah, that's a high-level concept, and everything will be much more clear when on Monday our Fairground testnet will be ready, and then yeah, we will guys walk you through it, and hopefully yeah, everything works for you guys. That's it so far from me. Sunny, any questions that came to you?
No questions. Just a quick thing I wanted to add on amending orders, which is that, as Anna said, you can amend your orders. There's just one situation, which is that if there's a low level of liquidity in the market, you might find a situation where you can't cancel or make your order, your liquidity or order smaller, because that liquidity is needed in the market. Yeah, just wanted to add that.
Okay, there was an excellent question from Liquid Mercury. The question is, in the market and trading page, when it says infrastructure portion of the fee, which is paid to validators, is running the infrastructure of the network, does it mean validators and token holders? And this is completely correct. There's network parameters. I'm not sure. I think at the moment it's set like, I can be wrong on this, is the network parameter, but I think at the moment it's around 13 or 15% goes to validators, and the rest goes to token holders, like of this fee. So like this is very often how you see like things in Vega. You zoom in and then like stuff is split and split and split, but in the end it's all like one ecosystem, and yeah, like fees are up like to a market, and also like the community is in charge, of course, of the network parameters, and can change these. And then yeah, you have like different parties, like if the fees are too low, then the validators why would I run a node? And if the fees are too high, people say, I'm not trading for this price. So there you have like a natural game theoretical idea that these fees and network parameters are the consequence like of a free and fair market. Anything else, guys? You can shoot questions at me. Dan, Sunny. Yeah, last comment is, as you guys see, like, so that Zoom actually allows two people, like could not use my virtual background, so now you guys can see that we're actually here working like in some sort of shoebox and with a room without windows, but at least we have a picture.
I just add one thing is the commitment amount. So I mean, since you're not used to this, so I wouldn't, I mean, I was not going to recommend anything, obviously, but you should probably consider how much you commit, and because you need a maintenance margin as well, which is actually you pay to actually when you do this as well. So, but all the information are in our docs, and I think that the most important part here is for us to explain just how you do it. And as Arne said earlier, if you want to have discussions on how to do it and thinking about something or reading the docs and maybe not understand, then I think our Discord is the perfect place to discuss this further. Yeah, it's a game in the end of the day. So like we tell you the rules, you need to win. And yeah, like lucky to hear your interested to hear your discussions and your thought processes, and with like what kind of strategies you guys come up with. So yeah, keep an eye on our channels, Twitter, Discord, Telegram, on Monday. And then yeah, hopefully you guys will like what you see. And if I know, like, yeah, this is not like for advanced users. And if you have any questions, great people like Sunny and Chris and others you might have seen from our team are available to help you to set up stuff. So like yeah, it looks more difficult than it is to run a script and connect to a network, but it's also like kind of cool, right? If you directly talk to a network. Okay, then guys, thanks a lot everyone for joining. It was really nice to have you here. And have a great evening, everyone. Thanks, Sunny, for joining, explaining everything. Same to you, Dawn. Thanks for being here. And have a great evening, everyone.
Thanks, guys.